Tom Caron, hello, sir.
Good morning. I can neither confirm nor deny any of that.
And I wouldn't expect anything less from you, sir, knowing your background. Thank you so much for joining us, Tom. We appreciate it. We're working on getting you sponsored. If anyone wants to sponsor Tom Caron segments,
these are like the ads. These are like those ads at TV station. We're guilty. Nessa, like you run an ad that says, "Hey, advertise on our network."
Well, the quickest way to do it is to email me, and then I'll just send it to the head of sales, and then it will get done.
This can get done in like a day.
Yeah, it really. I mean, there's a billion people that would do it. Believe me, there's a million people that would do it. It's just incentivizing someone to do it. All right, look, but I appreciate Tom in the meantime you agreeing to join us. All right,
I'm here for you.
Thank you. Well, it's much appreciated. You're the only Red Sox guy we want. All right, so here's the deal. Okay, look, they've been good against some bad competition, whatever they count. They play Colorado; they should do well there. They'll be, look, they're not going to win the East, but they'll be certainly in the conversation for a while, the third wild card. Breslow's come out and Breslow or whatever came out and said that there was permission from ownership to do something at the deadline. What are your expectations? First, I'll ask you your expectations.
Well, I mean, you're exactly right. All you got to do in baseball today, if you're at 500 at the Labor Day, you're in the hunt. And they'll be around that, I think. I mean, I thought that last year, too, and they fell apart. But they're a team that's good enough to hover around 500, beat up on some bad teams. You lose some games against good teams. So, yeah, they're going to be in this wild card thing. I thought last week Breslow came on our show, and I thought it was the strongest statement I'd heard yet. He simply said, listen, we built this team in February expecting it to be a playoff team. Our brain is in the same place now. Our mindset is that this is a playoff team. We're going to add to it. We're not going to break it up.
Okay. A lot of people now, I'm hearing it, are pointing to the Tigers last year. And they're saying, look, the Tigers traded Flaherty. They kept Skubal. They could have gotten a lot for Skubal. They traded. By the way, one of the things that you would have had to do is pick up Baez to get Skubal, and now look, Baez is an all-star. Yeah, so you would have gotten two. You would have Skubal and Baez.
No one saw that coming. Baez being an all-star.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's interesting, John. I'm not saying I predicted it. All right, so, but people, and then they'll go, look, they made like some moves, and then to sell, but they didn't get rid of any of their core, and they went on and they won a playoff series. I am hearing that. Do you think the Red Sox would try to pull anything like that? Like they add someone, but then they get rid of someone. They kind of like play the middle and go, well, look, we're still in the hunt.
Yeah, I do, and I'm usually dead set against it, but this is kind of a unique situation because you've got the young guys who need to find places to play, and you got to get Anthony in the lineup every day. They're doing it right now, but it's going to get that much tougher when Yoshida comes back this week because now you got another guy in the DH mix. So you probably still got to move an outfielder if you can. And Jarren Duran is probably the guy as much as he's meant to this team. And I've kind of gone back and forth on whether or not he should be the guy. But now that Rafael is hitting, and he's hitting really well, you got to keep him because he's so good defensively. Willie Abreu got a Gold Glove last year, and he's their home run leader right now. He's hitting for power. So if you're going to move one, the power rankings probably say Duran is most likely. So I think it is one of those rare cases where you could – conceivably subtract by trading an outfielder off the major league roster, meantime making other moves, pitching, maybe a first baseman that help you get better now.
I think it would be criminal not to trade Duran. I think you absolutely have to trade Duran. He might be the biggest trade target of the deadline.
The surest sign is dropping him out of that leadoff spot is what the Red Sox think about him.
And even he's not a kid, by the way.
Even after he started hitting, right? He had a little 3-4 game hitting streak going into that game was that Saturday? And he was still batting seventh against the lefty.
Yeah.
Right? So that tells you that they're seeing things. One got by him again yesterday. He's had a little trouble on balls in front of him when he's coming in. That seems to be a little problem, but he's still good defensively. He still hits 10 triples. I mean, there's a ton of value in Jarren Duran. And if you think Roman Anthony is your left fielder of the future, you've got to do it. You've got to look for a way to get him out there every day.
The other part of the problem is not only with the players, but with ownership, the trust from fans just isn't there. I mean, you see them playing well now, but, I mean, I think they've won 6 in a row and lost 6 in a row in separate streaks in 1 month. I mean, this is what they've been doing all year long, and fans, I don't want to say have been lied to, but have been, I don't know, led down the wrong path in each of the last 5 years as to what this ownership's intentions truly are. So I don't know if there's any trust that either the players can get it done or ownership or, the GM will follow through on promises.
Well, because the interesting thing is I feel that a lot of fans jumped back in the spring, right? They did win that trust back with the Bregman signing because it was big money. The Crochet deal was not a money thing. That was just a good trade. But when they got Bregman and Henry posted the picture with the cigar, it started to feel like fans were, okay, well, the rebuilding is over. This is a team that's going to be a playoff team. A lot of people picked them to win the division. It's what has made this first half so frustrating is that you did kind of buy back in and they're the same team as they were last year. Except now, if you get Bregman back and you make the right deal or two, there's no reason that this team shouldn't be a hell of a lot better in the second half than it has been so far.
What do you think Bregman's situation is in terms of his contract this offseason? Like, what do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, if I'm the Red Sox, I'm trying to get something done before the end of the season.
Because that's what they have to do, right? Because if they,
I think so.
You would think by the deadline they'd want to do
it.
Yeah,
I know you don't sign a player for public relations, but the move after freeing up the Devers money is to lock up Bregman. He's Dustin Pedroia 2.0. He's the heart and soul of that clubhouse. He's the leadership you need. He loves it here. He loves playing here. His family likes it here. Lock this guy up, build it around him. That's the smartest move.
Yeah, because if you can't re-sign him, then you got to trade him, and if you do that, then you're really out. Then it's almost like you've reversed course halfway through a season
again,
but you've are devoid of talent that's not 17 years old.
Don't forget the other part of it. Scott Boras came out and said Bregman would like to do a deal. I mean, I can't remember Scott Boras doing that during a season. I mean, this is
that's not his DNA. He likes to take everybody to market. He thinks that's the smart way to do it. He talks guys out of hometown discounts. I think Jason Varitek way back in the day is the only one I can remember where a Boris guy signed for less because he liked it here. So yeah, you're right. I mean, when they send that message out and you hear Bregman talk about this city and talk about this team, it just makes all the sense in the world to get it done. Because if you go the other way, if you trade Alex Bregman in the next few weeks, you talk about losing the faith of this fan base, it's gone after that.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. But I do think you can trade Duran, and if the fans are intelligent, they'll see the wisdom in that. And that you're not at all punting on the season if you do that. You're just getting rid of an asset that you don't need right now that's worth a lot at maybe its highest value.
It's a duplication of assets. But it's also got to be part of what else you do, right? Like if that's the only move you make, you're subtracting, you're not adding. Because I don't think you're going to get, if you trade him, it's not like you're going to get the finishing piece to a team you need now. So that's got to be part of an overall thing where you're getting pitching, you're getting help for this team. Maybe you're moving a prospect as well. You got all kinds of left-handed hitting outfielders in the minors. Yeah, you only need so many of those. So trade some of those, and if you bring in a stud, go get Alcantara, go get somebody who's really going to be the finishing piece of a rotation, and then nobody's going to care if you trade Duran.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tom Caron, look, Bregman knows someone. He made the All-Star game, even though he hasn't played.
That's the players' vote. He's a popular guy. He's got a salsa company. Everyone's going to get free salsa at the All-Star game.
I didn't know about the salsa. Okay.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, well,
good salsa.
It seems like a difficult and expensive business to get in. Is putting your name.
Well, again, but if you're in the Illuminati, as you pointed out earlier, there's a lot of people with disposable income ready to eat snacks.
Well, there is a. Have you ever been roped into one of them hot sauce stores? There used to be one at the Natick Mall. They had a guy out. They had a guy outside.
I'm a sucker for a hot sauce store.
Still there.
No doubt. I'll come back with habanero. I'll come back with all kinds of stuff.
Stuff that sits there and goes to waste.
It tastes a little similar, but they have a barker in front of it, and he'll pull you in, physically pull you in.
It's all there.
The little paper cup out front. Some of this.
Yeah, try some of this, and you're like, wow, that tastes like hot sauce. Okay, here we are.
There's one down in Newport. You'll find yourself in conversations about hot sauce.
I took a bite of a habanero habanero at that place to the amazement of my children. I did it to impress my children. I have such little self-esteem. I had to feel to do a brave act to impress my very own children. All right.
The things we do, I did the same thing at the Hard Rock Cafe in Orlando once, all right? I bit the habanero, the crowd went wild, and, we lived to tell the tale.
I just did it for my two kids. And my father never bit into a habanero to impress me, but I guess
the things we do for our kids today that our parents didn't do for us.
I mean, bathe them.
The things that you do when you're at the Hard Rock in Orlando. I mean, things are off the
Talk
chain.
about the Illuminati. I mean, if you're in the Illuminati, the Hard Rock or Orlando is where you want to go.
That all spills to Howl at the Moon after. You're in Church Street Station at that point, so take your shoes are off. All right, thank you, Tom.
All right, always a pleasure.
All right, appreciate it. There you go, Tom Caron.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.